Hello, happy Friday night. Thanks for joining me. So have you ever had your cards read? This is a fun and exciting and introspective intuitive tool that you can use to gain extra insight when it comes to decision making. So card readings I have done for my clients for many a moon, from everything on, should I invest in this property or this property? What do I need to know that's not quite apparent on the surface? To, I think I'm looking at jumping towards this job. Is there something I need to know about this particular position that I was unaware of otherwise? Or sometimes it's just questions about, hey, what is it that I'm really feeling today? Because my emotions are so mixed and I feel so upside down, I can't make heads or tails of it. There are so many different ways to interact with the cards. And if we haven't met yet, by the way, my name is Irena Miller and I have been guiding women for over 20 years on a variety of intuitive tools that they can use to trust their gut instincts to make better decisions in the right timing, and decisions that they can make and sleep well with at night, not keeping them up in the middle of the night. So tonight I have posted in my free Facebook group, which is Energy Adventures with Irena, a wonderful opportunity for the friends in there to grab a slot for a free reading. I had 6 people jump on it, and I'm gonna get ready to share here in a few minutes. 7:05 is the first official reading. But before I do, one thing that's very important, that you know where I'm coming from. Because to know where a person is coming from, whether it's a reader or a teacher, a yoga teacher, or an economics professor, to know their background and their lineage really helps you understand what they're sharing with you. And so when I do a reading, I really come from a place that the card readings are like a weather report. Hello, Deanna, thanks for joining. So yeah, when you jump on, let me know, drop an emoji in the comments if you've ever had a reading before. So when I teach or when I share card readings, the way I approach it is kind of like in the morning you say, I wonder what the weather's gonna be like today. Can I wear shorts or should I grab a jacket? And that's the point where you go to the weather station, you turn it on, or you look at your phone and you check out the weather report and you say, oh, okay, it's gonna be sunny and 70 degrees, so I'll wear my shorts today. Or you just, you discover that it's windy and cold and you think, oh, I'm not even gonna bother bringing an umbrella. I know the rain is coming, but I'm just gonna go for it and run to my car and run to work. The idea is that we can't control the weather, but we can control how we engage with it, how we show up to it. So hello, Allie, what a treat to see you. Lots of love to you. And Tammy, hello, such joy to have you. So the thing with a card reading is that when it comes down to it, you, my friend, have free will. Life is not happening to you. Life may happen, right? Thunderstorms come, hurricanes occur, bright, sunny, beautiful days happen out of the blue, and that's wonderful. It's how you show up and choose to engage with it that makes all the difference. So with card readings, take a moment to really formulate your question. The question is very important because this is a powerful tool, the cards. It's not a tool that can, let's put it this way. If you use this for a yes or a no answer, it's kind of like trying to open a pickle jar with a hammer. It'll get the job done, but this tool has so much more to offer. And so often when Leanne, fantastic to see you. Thank you for joining in. What joy to have you. So yeah, so with the card reading, oh, Lisa, hi. Oh, this is like a party. Welcome, everyone. So with the card reading, yes, you could ask a yes or no question, but often that's like giving your power away. Like, universe, what's gonna happen to me? No, the universe is saying, hey, there's a thunderstorm coming. What do you wanna do about it? I could give you some tips. You wanna hear some tips? That's what the card reading's about. You're tuning into your own subconscious intuition, your intuitive guidance, as well as asking your angels and your guides for help. Like, hey, what do you know that I don't know? My unseen resources, my advisory board that can help me get extra insight beyond what I can see. So thank you for joining. Keep those ideas in mind as I jump into the questions. And what I'm gonna do as well for all of you guys who are watching, whether it's live or on the replay, I'm just watching what pops out at me. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a card reading for the whole group. So some of you I know are wanting card readings, and I ran out of time slots. I could go on all night with this. I love it, but I know I would wear you out. So know that what I'm sharing with you here too is just the tip of the iceberg of what I teach my students in the Intuitive Energy Adventure. I love sharing with them all sorts of intuitive tools and techniques they can use and learn so that they can make these decisions and choices. Thanks, Tammy. Okay, so the first question, and I've got my little time clock here helping me out, comes for Renee. And the way that I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna invite you to hold the question in your heart. And you can close your eyes, and if you're watching along, I encourage you to even place your hand on the heart and say, okay, may the question that is asked and the answer that comes through serve everybody to the highest possibility. Oh, that's interesting. When you're shuffling, if one card keeps popping out or falling out, it's important to pay attention. And I want to take a moment to pause because one card is popping out quite a bit. And it's the Five of Wands. Ooh, it's kind of an intense, passionate, fiery card, and it's popping out upside down. And what I want to point out to you right now is that the 5 represents a halfway point, a transition, a bit of challenge or friction. It's definitely a growth period where you've built a strong foundation, you've laid your plans, you have your strategy, things are in motion, but it gets to be the challenging part where you can sometimes beat yourself up, where you can question or doubt yourself. So for any of my friends watching today, if you are going through a time of transition, of shifting, of changing, I invite you to hold compassion for yourself, to know that this too shall pass, that we can beat ourselves up all we want, but we end up being our own worst enemies. There's one particular card, this one isn't it, you just see a group of 5 men with their batons or wands, and it's like they're sword fighting. They're all fighting and competing and kind of crushing each other. But this card, the way that I'm really tuning into it for us today, especially in the upside down version, is there's an image on another deck of this tree that's kind of hitting itself, kind of batting itself. There are times where we can beat ourselves up. So I invite you, my friends, this weekend, tonight, take a deep breath and hold space for yourself and have compassion, knowing that it's always tough at the halfway point. We question, we doubt, but have faith, this too shall pass. All right, so I'm gonna pull one more card for that and just see if there's guidance on how to move through this moment where we're beating ourselves up, maybe, and can hold more compassion. Oh, beautiful. It's the World card. The World is a card of completion, of success. So know that you are on the path to success, and this will move through. So, take a deep breath, and when you feel tired, instead of, or I should say, when you feel like quitting, often you're tired. So take a rest, have some fun, and keep playing with me tonight. Okay, so welcome, Lisa and Teresa. Great to have you. The first reading goes out to Renee, and I'm gonna ask for everyone today, what is the most important thing that you know in this moment now? So for Renee, what is the most important thing she knows moving forward through this weekend? Okay. So 4 of Pentacles. And when a card comes out upside down, different people read it different ways, but basically the foundation of it is the energy is the same, whether it's upright or upside down. The same energy is present. When it's upside down, the way that I really connect with it is that something might be blocking it a tiny bit. It's not coming through fully. Sometimes people see it as like the flip side of the coin, the complement or the opposite, or a certain vibration it gives off. But generally speaking, the 4 of Pentacles, you can see here, he's holding on to his coins, and the Pentacles represent something physical and tangible in your life. And when it's upside down, it's saying, okay, let's take a moment and just pause. Is there something that you're really holding on to in your life that you're not quite ready to let go of, but deep down inside that in order to move forward, you have to let go? Because if we're going around through life with our hands closed, we can't welcome and receive the next gift. And because it's the Pentacles, it represents something physical in life. So it could be Let's see, I'm gonna just tune in and see if something comes up in general. But it could be just the fact that we collect papers often in our office, and the clutter can be very energetically distracting and drain us. You know, we see things out of the corner of our eyes and our mind goes to, oh, you know, I really should be putting those papers in an organized filing system, or I should be putting this away, or I should be organizing that, and it drains us. So I invite you, if there's something that you've been holding on to, take a moment and see why it is you're holding on to it. Why are you hesitating and letting go? And knowing that that letting go is going to open up a whole new world of opportunity for you. Okay, now, next thing. Oh, Teresa, I'm glad you like perfect message for tonight. And hello, Heather, great to have you. My next friend, Alicia. Oh, good, I'm not too far behind in my time schedule. So Alicia, I'm gonna have you just hold your question in your heart. I'm gonna ask, what is the most important thing Alicia know about her question right now? Okay, 5 of Cups. Getting a lot of 5s tonight, haha. So again, 5 is that halfway point. It's that point where there's a little bit of friction again, transformation and growth. And the thing that I love about this, one of my teachers, her quick little phrase for this is, cry a river, build a bridge, and get over it to the castle. Right, that's kind of the harsh way to think of it. Oh, but what I love about this is we have losses in life, right? Things don't go the way we intended. And the cups represent emotion. Yeah, right, Pamela? A lot of 5s. I think you guys are going through major growth periods. You've put a lot of effort and work into things, and you're at that halfway point where we can sometimes doubt and question. But here, this guy, he's focusing on the cups that are spilled. It's like he's crying over the spilled milk. And he's not realizing that there's other opportunities still available to him. We get really focused on the emotional hurt, the grief, and the pain. We're focusing so much, and we're looking at the river like, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to cross over? How am I going to get back home? How am I going to feel peaceful again? And we don't realize that there's a path, a bridge right behind us that we could simply walk over and could get to home. We don't have to build a new bridge. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. What we have to do is shift our gaze and sometimes just turn around and see what's available to us right behind us. So in this moment of growth, if there's something that's been weighing heavy on your heart, if it's been challenging to figure out how am I going to get through or over the obstacles, take a moment to pause and then maybe turn around, so to speak, to open yourself to what might be right underneath your nose the whole time that you didn't see because you were just looking at maybe what had been lost. All right, so feel free to give me feedback if you've got a question on what I'm saying. Okay. All right, so to clear the deck, a nice thing to do, a nice quick way to clear it is knock 3 times. You can clear the deck other ways, saging or smudging it, having a quartz crystal. Ooh, Stephanie, yes. All right, let's see, where am I? Okay, Stephanie, I'm gonna pull, all right, because I've got some friends. I'm gonna pull extra cards tonight. I know, because so many people want extra cards. All right, so Stephanie, I will pull something for you in a moment. All right, my next friend who signed up was, dun, dun, dun. Oh, you know what, I'm doing well. So yeah, if you guys want a card and you jump on, let me know, I'll pull one for you. So Stephanie, since I'm running ahead of schedule, I'm gonna pull a card for you. Okay, so Stephanie, just having your hand over your heart, hold your question in your heart or your mind, and I'm gonna just tune in and ask, what's the most important thing that Stephanie know about her question right now? Okay, ooh, 8 of Pentacles. Looks like you're learning and you're studying something. Okay, Pamela, yeah, I'll get you a card too. So Stephanie, this is a wonderful, wonderful card of someone who's accomplished quite a lot. This is like having a lot of certifications on your wall. You've been, oh, Lisa, fantastic. And Leanne, excellent. All right, you too. And Teresa, woohoo. Oh, neat. Okay, so back to Stephanie. So we have these 8 pentacles on the wall. You've achieved and learned so much. Oh my goodness. And you're still working on it. You're working hard, your head is down, you're focused on what you're doing. Your home is in the background of your mind, but you're investing a lot of time and energy in building something right now. So whatever your question is that you're holding in on your heart, hi Susie, know that all of your energy and your actions that you've been pouring into learning and building and studying are paying off. 8 is a wonderfully abundant card, very, very successful. Still in that apprentice phase of learning, but getting ready, almost there at the end. You can see he's only got like one more left to work on. He's almost done. He's there at the end. So if you've been questioning, do I hold on any longer? Do I keep going on this path? Yes. Keep going, you're almost there, and keep home on your mind. So that reminds you of, go back into your heart, what's most important to you, why are you doing this, and put it through that filter. That way, when it gets hard, you get tired, and you're like, I don't know, can I keep going? You remember your why. Okay, fantastic. So let me just scroll up. So I got Stephanie, all right. And now Pamela. Okay, so Pamela, when you're ready, just hold your hand over your heart, and you're gonna just simply hold your question in your heart. And I'm gonna ask, what is the most important thing that Pamela know right now in regards to her question? So see, this is just asking our intuitive energy advisory board, what do I need to know? What is it that I don't know? I've got a big decision to make, and it would be nice if I had some legal insider information. Okay, so for you, Pamela, oh my goodness, a lot want to jump out. Okay, so give me the best one. Okay. Ooh, the world. Success and completion. So if you have been working on a particular project, this gal, I love her for a variety of different reasons. She has these wonderful 4 symbols represented in the corner. You've got the wonderful Taurus bull that represents that loyalty, represents the, I'm trying to think of the word I want. You're showing up, you're doing the work. It's a perseverance, it's hanging in there. The courage of the lion, wonderful angel I see this as, or a guide. And then the eagle, that wonderful wisdom. And it's all encircled. This is the laurel, this is the celebration, this is a success. So whatever your question was that you were holding in your heart, know that there is completion and success coming. And that this particular event, and I'm closing my eyes because I don't know your question, so I'm seeing what might be coming through in regards to this. But it really picks up on a lot of mobility. So I don't know if you've been thinking about putting something physically into motion, or just you've had ideas and like wheels spinning in your mind, something that you're looking to create, and it's on the pathway to success. Fantastic. All right, Pamela, so let me know how that feels to you out of curiosity. All right, Leanne, yay, because I'm still ahead. This is great. All right, so Leanne, so holding your hand over your heart, and you hold your question and you just kind of say it to yourself. So what is the most important thing that Leanne know about her question? Let me do this. So tuning into Leanne, what does she need to know? Aha, ooh, the moon card. This is a very intuitive card. And right now with Mercury in retrograde, also Mercury is retrograde in Pisces, we're in the sun sign of Pisces. It's a highly intuitive time. This also represents the dream world. Pay attention to your dreams. Sometimes it can represent nightmares because we can't see everything clearly. So whatever your question is about, know that you don't have the full picture yet. Not everything is being revealed. Some things are still in the dark. The way that I like, hiya Wendy, the way that I like to think about this card is, remember when you were a child at night and the shadows in your room would make, these big scary images on your wall, and you turn out, oh, it was just my teddy bear if I turn on the light. But at night it looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a ghost. Like, oh, this is like being in your room at night with the lights off. As soon as the lights turn on, you're like, what was I afraid of? That was nothing. But right now, fears might be churning to the surface. You've got this kind of gateway, this portal, this moment of transition of going from one reality into the next. Things are coming up from subconscious. So again, it's kind of like the dogs howling at the moon, a little bit scary and eerie at times. But the biggest thing to take away from this card is that not everything is as it appears to be. What might seem very fearful and scary as it bubbles to the surface, don't necessarily fully buy into it just yet, because as soon as the lights are turned on and more is revealed, then you will know which direction to go in. So for now, in this period, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take time, breathe, give yourself space, and as the fears come up, you're gonna say, all right, is this really something I should worry about, or is this just one of those fears that likes to come up and annoy me? And if it's a fear that you should worry about, that's more along the lines of, no, it keeps coming in the same way consistently, and it's not really scary, but it's more like, you know what, you should double check, go back and double check sorry, I got a message coming through. Oh, that was pretty cute. Go back and double check like the coffee pot. Did you leave the coffee pot on? And you're like, no, I turned it off. And then you're like, oh, wait a second, what if I left the back door unlocked? And you're like, no, I'm sure I locked the back door. And then you're like, oh no, did I remember to take the puppies out because I was in such a rush? Those kinds of fears, right? Those are the things you want to watch out for when it comes to decision making. Okay, but for now, give yourself some space. Know that more will be revealed. Not everything's known yet. And pay attention to your dreams. Highly, highly intuitive time. All right, so Lisa and Teresa, fantastic. Let me see what else is coming through. Oh, okay, so Pamela, all right, answering. Okay, cool. Leanne, wonderful. I'm just seeing if you guys have anything. And Maggie, welcome. Where are we? 7:22. All right, so Heather, I'm going to pull a card for you right now, and then I'll pull some extras for the rest of you. So just holding your hand over your heart, you're going to go ahead and just hold the question in your heart, and you say, all right, that question to yourself or out loud, and I'm just asking, what's the most important thing that Heather knows about her question right now? Okay, so 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is when we feel trapped and we're really not. So the swords represent thoughts, ideas. It's our mind or our mindset. You can see she's got these swords around her. She's all bound up. She's got a blindfold on. And it's like, I'm trapped. I can't go anywhere. I can't move. I'm in the water. I'm on land. What's happening? Ah! And really, in essence, hello, Renee, what she can do is she can just wiggle out of her ropes easily enough. She can push that blindfold up anytime she wants to, and she can walk right out of that sword arrangement. It's not even a circle of swords. But there are times in our life where we end up feeling trapped. So for example, it could be, I'm just kind of tuning in, just random idea or kind of analogy for this. With the 8 of Swords, think back to maybe when you were a kid, and it was lunchtime, and you're like, where am I gonna sit? You're there with the tray, you're at school, you don't see your friends, like, where are my friends? And the 8 of Swords energy would be along the lines of, oh my gosh, I can't find my friends, no one likes me, I don't know if I'll have any good jokes to tell at lunch, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have nowhere to sit. There's no place for me. And that's kind of us getting into our headspace, that monkey chatter, that mental mind stuff that drives us crazy. When in reality, if we just take a moment, we take our blinders off, we realize, oh, my friends have been waving at me from that corner over there. Oh, I just need to go over there. Let me push my way out of these bad thoughts. We get out of the bad neighborhood, so to speak. So when you're stuck in an 8 of Swords energy, the best thing to do is to step into the role of observer. Watch the thoughts as they come up. And what does it mean to step into the role of observer? It means that you're aware of your thoughts. So if you get a bad thought like, I don't know that my voice has a place in this world. I tried to present at work, and the two in the corner over there were talking, and he didn't listen to me, and it felt like I was talking to a brick wall, and it was so upsetting. So I don't know if I'll ever do this again. I don't know if I'll even try. Catch that and be like, oh, all right, that's interesting. And what you try to do is you try to step out of the story of it and into the feeling. And the feeling of like, oh, I wasn't being respected. I wasn't being heard. That made me feel lonely and isolated. It made me feel like I didn't have anything to offer, like I didn't know what I was talking about. I felt less than. So you feel the feeling. And then from that spot, you allow it, that moment of validation, which takes the energy and the charge out of it. From that point, that's how you push through that mental mind stuff that's attached to the energy of emotions. So emotion is energy in motion. So take a moment, notice where maybe you're mindset, the thoughts have been blocking you and holding you in a space of feeling trapped. Okay, great job, you guys. Hello, thanks for all the love. Oh yeah, Renee, no worries. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, the Eight of Swords is an interesting one where you're kind of psyching yourself out. All right, so we have Deanna. Good, so I've got time to sneak another friend in who's watching. Okay, so Lisa, you said you'd love one. Okay, so Lisa, just holding a hand over your heart, and you just say your question to yourself or out loud, and I'm going to slowly tune in and just ask, what is the most important thing Lisa know about her question? Ooh, okay, another fun one. Okay, so the Lover's card, and it came out upside down, so I'll talk about that in a moment, but the Lover's card is wonderfully exciting. This is like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden with the beautiful Archangel Gabriel over them. And 6, the Lovers, can actually represent a choice. And the thing that I love about this choice is that it kind of goes along the lines of, all right, you know, it reminds me of like you've got the angel on one shoulder and the wonderful little, you know, devil on the other. And you're looking to make a choice. And one choice might really look good. And the other choice might look good, but you're like, oh, I don't know. So if you take a moment to pause and to examine, you might discover that one of the choices, even though it looks really good and really tempting, in the end, it costs you energetically. And you have to check in and say, am I willing to pay that price? Or is that like selling a bit of my soul, so to speak? So for example, you might have a wonderful opportunity to do a free live speaking gig, right? And it's great publicity, it's great opportunity, but because you have to travel for it, or because you have to buy software for it, or do something to prepare, you have to lay out a bunch of money in order to get this free gig. And it looked really great at the beginning, and you're like, oh, this is fantastic. I'm gonna be able to share my message, get in front of another audience, and then you realize, wow, I'm gonna have to put out a lot of money for this. You know, like, I don't know that I have that money to invest right now in this. So it might look really good. It might be really tempting, but pause for a moment and check in with your choices right now, because you have a choice that might look really deliciously good, but it comes at a cost. And make sure that you're aware of that cost and that you're willing to pay it. And I'm just feeling drawn to draw another card for you, to see if we can get extra information on what would, ooh, and it popped out. Okay, cool. What would this choice be about? And it has to do with home, and it kind of popped out upside down for me. So 4 of Wands, you might have to make a decision about your home life right now and the stability and the security of it. 4 represents stability, like the chairs on a leg or a table, 4 solid legs. And this is a celebration when it's upright, there's a wedding, happy homecoming, there's a castle behind, yay! And upside down, it's kind of like, you know, something's kind of rotten in the state of Denmark. Or something's off, it doesn't feel right. The flow of the home isn't going. So if there's potentially a decision or choice that needs to be made around home and creating stability and security, take a moment to really examine your choices and make sure that you know the path that it leads to, and if you're that you're willing and mindfully aware and choosing the choice, because it can come at a cost. All right, so yay, Mary's here, fantastic. Gail, hello, you're welcome, Heather. And Teresa wants a card. All right, fantastic. Good to have you guys. Okay, where am I time-wise? 7:30. All right, so Deanna's at 7:35. So I will pull a card for you, Miss Teresa. Fantastic to have you. Okay, so Teresa, just hold a hand over your heart, and you're gonna just hold your question in your heart, and I'm gonna ask, what's the most important thing that Teresa knows when it comes to making her choice or making her decision on this question? Okay, very cool. So the Ace of Wands, yay! Ace of Wands, it's a new beginning. Aha, this wonderful, I love this. It's like the hand of God coming from the heavens. Wands represents inspiration, ideas, passion, and This particular one is an inspiration that comes almost out of the blue. It's a new opportunity, a new beginning. Ace of Wands can represent a new job offer, a new pathway. What I love again is you have the wonderful home there in the background. It's that idea of, okay, hey Christine, great to have you. Yeah, I'll try to pull a card for you too, and Candy as well. So Ace of Wands for Miss Teresa. If you've been contemplating a new start, if you've been opening yourself and you're getting inspiration and ideas coming, pay attention to them. Oh, okay, good to know, Lisa, fantastic. So pay attention to the inspiration and ideas that are coming right now, and just on the lookout for new job opportunities. This is really exciting. So let me know if you have questions on that. Ooh, good question. I'm gonna come back to that, Christine. Okay, so let's see. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so Teresa, I got you. And I think we're getting close. We've got 4 more moments. Trying to be very good with my hours. Okay, so Deanna is at 7:35, and I'm glad you caught me live, Mary, too. So Candy, I'm gonna pull a card for you. Thanks, Candy. Okay, so Candy, I'm gonna have you hold your hand over your heart and just say your question to yourself or out loud. And I'm gonna ask, what's the most important thing Candy know when it comes to her question and making her decision? Ooh, 3 of Pentacles. Beautiful. So the 3 represents collaboration. It represents a team. 2 often represents a choice. And the 3 is collaboration. It's a team. You can see you've got these 2 wonderful people coming to the master smith with their plans. They're like, hey, what do you think of this? I don't know. So in regards to your question, if you've been contemplating putting together a team, if you've been contemplating collaborating with someone, this is definitely giving you extra information and support on that question, especially stepping into the role of expert. We got the 8 of Pentacles before for Miss Stephanie, and 8 of Pentacles is representative more of like the apprentice. They're still learning, they're building those pentacles onto the wall, getting those certifications in a row, they're almost done. But the 3 of Pentacles, they've mastered it. They're the teacher. They're the teacher, and they're teaching and collaborating and creating groups and communities. So this is definitely thumbs up for collaboration, community, oh my goodness, connection, like so. Fantastic. Mary, yes, I'll get you too. Ooh, Teresa, thinking about becoming a nanny when you move to Long Beach, California. Ooh, fantastic. Yeah, I get goosebumps. That's something you would definitely want to look into pursuing if the Ace of Wands comes through. And you're so great too with the kids. So much love. Oh my God. All right. So let me see. 7:33. Fantastic. Okay, so I got Miss Candy and Mary. All right. So Mary, I'm going to have you hold your hand over your heart and just say your question to yourself, or you can say it out loud. And I'm going to ask, what's the most important thing Mary know when it comes to making her decision? And this popped out right away for you. Boy, it's coming. So the Hierophant, ooh, this is a fun one. I love this because the Hierophant represents structure and rules and tradition and authority. Respect the authority. And sometimes this is known as like the Pope, right? He's here, he's seated, and he's got his fingers pointing up to God. Like, you want to remember that connection to the heavens. You want to remember that divine inspiration that can come. And even the wonderful students or subjects or followers, they have that opening to the crown. It's a remembrance and the keys to the kingdom. So in regards to the question that you have, there's certain tradition around it. There's certain structure and authority. But what I'm really picking up for you is that ability to channel through the structure and the authority the divine inspiration, to remember that even, sometimes having certain rules and regulations can be so frustrating. I mean, just think back to when you were a kid and you're like, why do I have to go to bed at 7:30, Mom? That's ridiculous. And why do I have to go to bed at 9? That's stupid, Why do I have to eat my vegetables? I want to just do what I want. When I'm big, I'm going to do whatever I want. And at a certain point, there comes an understanding that discipline equals freedom. right? If you want to take a vacation, let's say, or you want to purchase something that's very precious to you, there's a certain discipline we have to have in place to save our pennies for that rainy day to make that purchase. Or there's a certain discipline that has to come when we want to lose weight. We have to either exercise or change our eating habits. So through the rules and regulations, there can be a lot of freedom found. And that freedom is going to come right now for you through that divine inspiration, the wonderful bald little heads, and the remember of connecting. That's what's really coming through for you, Mary, right now on this card. Okay, fantastic. So Deanna, my friend, I'm going to pull a card for you. So just holding a hand over your heart and asking your question. I'm going to ask, what's the most important thing that Deanna know as she is asking her question? Okay, ooh, 8 of Swords popped up again. Fan favorite. So this came up earlier for another friend. And basically, now here's the neat thing. The same card can come up, but it could have a different meaning. Somebody else could look at the card and read it completely differently. This is what I teach in my intuitive energy program. There are so many different intuitive tools and techniques we can use. What we're doing is developing your own intuitive language with your guides and angels, with your own inner self. And it's definitely a practice and a play. Play because we have to get into the land of imagination. We're working with stuff that, gosh, we may never have even thought of or dreamt of before. Like, how do I talk to my guide? What does that feel like? What do they look like? Like, we don't have a frame of reference. It's like that movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? And the shaman on the shore is talking to his tribe, and he said, do you see all those huge, huge things on the water out there on the horizon? And the tribe's like, no, we don't see anything. And then he says, well, do you see like a tree moving? And they're like, oh, trees, we know trees. Yes, now that you mention it, we see a tree moving on the water. Oh, in a big canoe? Yes, we see that. And then because they have something that they know, they can begin to imagine it. They have a frame of reference. So when we get into this world of intuitive tools, you have to get a little playful. You have to get into imagination. And you have to say, I've never seen this or done this before. How do I begin to even understand? That's why we get into the world of play. Kind of let go of some of these hard and narrowed ways of the way we think the world or the universe works. So when it comes up to 8 of Swords again, Deanna, for you, what I'm really tuning into with this particular card, yes, it has to do with the mindset, has to do with being trapped by certain thoughts and ideals. Sometimes it's a matter of flipping the script. It's a matter of us feeling like we're being hedged in when we're actually having, like if we just saw it a little differently, it would be an incredible opportunity. So for example, it could be the fact that, trying to think of one particular example that would really bring this card home when it comes to that. Let's see if a story comes through. Okay, so this is what comes through. This is a fun one. So I have a client, and she is an amazing, successful businesswoman, works in corporate America, and she works in a male-dominated industry. She's an engineer, and she loves her job, but she started running into a lot of grief, a lot of discrimination when it gets down to it. And she started to question, like, am I even doing the right thing? My heart is breaking here. I love the job, I love the work, but I just can't keep fighting. I'm exhausted and I'm hurting. And she left the office and she went out into the parking lot and she's sitting on the curb. And she's just so downtrodden and she's like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And if she let her thoughts continue on that path, she could have very well have just quit her job and been like, that's it, I'm done. And essentially, that's what I did in my male-dominated industry. I'm like, that's it, I'm done. There was a guy that I worked with who knew and saw what was happening to me and had extended an opportunity to work at another firm, but I didn't even pay attention. I'm like, I'm so done, like I can't even see this another way. This just sucks. I don't wanna work in IT anymore. But my client, really amazing. Well, and I also wanted to do this work that I'm doing with you now. So yeah, 20 years ago, I made the shift. But long story short, my client, she was sitting there on the curb and she asked for guidance. She was like, you know what? please, God, send me a sign. Am I on the right path, or do I give up now and just move on into something entirely different? She looks down between her feet and she sees a beautiful shiny penny. And she's like, oh, this is cool. But, I'm talking about my life, career, and path. Am I going to base it on a penny? Like, I don't know if that feels like a good energetic exchange, God. Thank you, but I need a little more confirmation. So she's sitting there and she's still kind of dealing with the upset and the worry and the hurt. And her current boss comes out and he said, oh, hey, I was just at Dunkin' Donuts and I found something for you. And she's like, okay, what did you find? And his hand reaches out and he said, I found you a lucky penny. Boom. And that was her answer. She knew at that point she was on the right path. She just needed to take a deep breath and hold on and hang in there like the 8 of Pentacles that came up. Keep working on it. All right, so fantastic. So for you, Deanna, when it comes to the 8 of Swords, take a moment to see if you can flip the script, so to speak, to see if you can see another side and another opportunity that might be hidden because the blinders are on, okay? All right, so let's see, time-wise, 7:41, and I have Miss Maggie at 7:45. Fantastic. Okay, so Candy, I got a card for you, and Christine, hello, Ruth Ann. Yes, and Mary. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're from Southern California too, Christine. Oh, fantastic. We'll have to connect you with wonderful, wonderful Miss Teresa. I don't know, Teresa, if you're out there yet or not. Okay, Candy, fantastic. Cindy, yes, I will pull one for you. Oh, thank you, Candy. I really appreciate that. Hello, Tammy, Lucy. Oh, I'm glad you're here. And just Karen, thank you for joining. Okay, Lucy, I will pull one for you. Hola, Enrique, good to have you. And Deb, yay. Danielle, all right, fantastic. Okay, so I am going to go ahead. I've got 3 minutes before the next one. So Christine, let me see what your question was. So I'm going to have you, I'm going to do it kind of the way I was. I know you kind of wrote a more detailed question, but I'm having trouble finding it. So I'm going to have you just hold your question in your heart. And I'm going to ask for the most important information to come through for you now. What is it, the most important thing that, let's see, that Christine Nicole knows as she gets ready to make her decision and choice? I'm flipping cards around all over. Okay, fantastic. Ooh, this is a fun one, the Hangman. So we are talking about different perspectives. He's upside down, seeing things from 180 degrees, haha. But the Hangman also represents, and what I'm getting through for you, and I didn't quite see the question, is that with the Hangman, there comes a point where we have to be willing to sacrifice something for our dream. So for example, let's say you want to pursue a certain college degree or career, there has to be a willingness to say, okay, well, that means I'm not going to be able to hang out with my friends the same way I did before because I'm going to be attending classes, I'm going to need study time, homework time, so I'm going to sacrifice time with friends right now so I can go to school, get this degree, and move on. And that takes seeing things from a different perspective, right? You're playing the long game because the Hangman isn't going anywhere anytime soon. They're kind of in this static space. And like the 8 of Swords, this guy could get out of this if he wanted to. He's not tied in that tightly. His hands are just behind his back. He could reach up, he could loosen the thing around his leg, and he could get down. But at the same time, the energy's kind of static and still right now. It's not a lot of movement. It's like a really still day, and you sometimes just want that breeze, like, oh, please blow. But the biggest thing right now as you're coming to make your decision is take a moment and say, all right, for me to pursue what the heart's desire is, there's going to have to be sacrificing of something, letting go of something, and knowing that it'll take looking at things in a different perspective, right? Putting it into the long game to make sure that it's kind of like hanging on to your why. Why am I doing this? Like, what am I even putting all my time and energy and money into this for? You're like, oh yeah, that's right. Because when I get this degree, I'll be able to do ABC, XYZ, and get the higher paying jobs. All right, so let me know. Good night, Teresa. So glad you're here. Okay, fantastic. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so I think I am at, 7:45 hour. Okay, Maggie, time for your reading. Okay, So Maggie, I'm gonna have you hold your hand over your heart. I'm being inspired to do traditional. Sorry to turn my back on you, my friends. But every now and then you see like you have to clear the energy of the cards. You get the feeling. And that's something, again, that I go into in the intuitive energy adventure, because a lot of these techniques and tools we don't necessarily have hard and fast rules for. It's learning and navigating what feels right to you in the moment and the guidance you're getting. Okay, all right. So I was pulling this card for Maggie. Now this is so much fun. This is the 9 of Cups. I see this guy with his arms over his chest. I love this card because kind of back in the day when I was certifying in card reading, my teacher called this the fairy godmother card. This is like the Make-A-Wish type card, you know? I think of Cinderella and her fairy godmother. What are you wishing for? But the thing that I also love about this, when I've spent more time with him, is that he can get kind of grumpy, you know? I mean, he's looking fairly pleasant, but his arms are over his chest. I'm like, everybody's having a good time, but there's that hesitancy, there's that resistance. Cups represents emotion, intuition. This with the 9, it's like, oh, all the cups. It only goes up to 10, so this is a really full cup. This is exciting, this is joy, but there's a hesitancy to it. So, oh, that's fun. So what came through for you is how good can you stand it? You know, sometimes, and now, because I also know you too, I'm thinking into it in some of our past conversations, but sometimes there are those moments in life where it's really hard to enjoy ourselves because we're thinking about other things, or we're worried about people, or we don't necessarily feel like we deserve it or it's the right time. So for you, whatever your question is, whatever you're holding in your heart, what I offer you to do is kind of work around it. Sometimes when we come at something sideways, it's much easier than when we hit it head on, like, you will be happy, you will have fun, gosh darn it. That's like a movie. We have to come at it sideways. And what I would invite you to do is I'd invite you to tap into laughter somehow, some way. Oh, there's a great video. I'm gonna find it again and share it here in this thread of this guy, and it's called Smile. He went onto a subway and he's looking at his tablet and he just starts laughing. He just goes, and he starts laughing, right? So at first it's totally fake, it seems, right? You're kind of giggling, but then you get into it. And then the people around him, especially the young kids, are looking at him like, oh my God, this guy's a complete idiot. What? Check him out. He's such a dork. And of course I'm using dork. I don't know what my kids say. I got to think about this. I'm totally out of the loop. Not hip, not lit, not cool. No, but the laughter becomes infectious and it spreads. That's why laughter yoga is so powerful. And that's kind of coming at it from sideways. It kind of sneaks up on you. Somebody else is laughing, you see somebody else laugh, and you're like, I'm not gonna laugh, that's stupid. I'm not gonna laugh. And then next thing you know, you're smiling. And next thing you know, you're laughing. So what I invite you to do right now, whatever your question was, is come at it sideways. And see if you can come at it sideways with something silly and fun, whether that's putting on a stand-up comedy routine, or, you know, looking at puppies on Instagram, doing silly things. But come at it sideways, because how good can you stand it, my friend? Okay, fantastic. All right, 7:49. Okay, Miss Danielle, I have you at 7:55. So let me see who else is here. Cindy, fantastic. So I'm gonna pull a card for you. All right, so what is the most important thing that Cindy knows? And I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle this kind of Vegas style. I have my crystals over here. Oops. As I'm dropping cards, looking at you. 4 little cards, give them love. But my different crystals, which are nice, the fluorite helps me really open up and tune into intuitive guidance. I love that one, especially as the pyramid shape, that idea of tuning in and divining. All right, so Cindy, I'm gonna have you hold your hand over your heart and just ask your question. And I'm gonna ask for you, what's the most important thing that Cindy knows when it comes to her question and making her choice? Ooh, okay, 9 of Wands. So the image that pops into my mind, do you remember from the 1980s? There was this wonderful poster. There's a kitten, and the kitten's hanging on, and it says, hang in there. This is the 9 of Wands. Hang in there. You're almost done. You might be battle worn and bruised and feeling a bit broken and exhausted, but you're almost there. Don't give up. I have a great story for this one to really evoke the energy and feeling of it. Back in the day when I was trying to learn how to ski, I didn't realize, it's kind of like learning how to drive a standard. All of a sudden, you realize that there's flat and there's hills, right? Even if it appears flat, many times there's a bit of an incline to it. And when you're on a pair of skis or you're driving a standard, you will slide like you can't believe. It'll look totally flat and you're like, oh my God, it was a hill. So here I am learning how to ski, and I'm on like the pre-bunny slope. I'm not even the bunny slope. And I'm holding on to this thing that's pulling you up the little bunny hill. And as I'm going up the bunny hill, I'm holding on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. My arms are so tired. I thought, I'm pretty much at the top. I think I can let go. Well, I let go and I knocked down everybody behind me. Oh my God. And I really was almost there. If I had hung on for like maybe 30 more seconds, maybe even 15, I would have saved myself a world of embarrassment and pain. So my friend Cindy, hang in. You're almost there, just like that kitty cat from the 1980s. You're almost there. I know it's exhausting. You've worked so hard to get here, but look at all this growth and all that you've built behind you. It's amazing. So 10 is the energy that really is the completion and also welcoming in the new, because it's a 1 and a 0. 1 is a new well, 0 is really the new beginning, but you've got the 1 and the 0. So this really represents you're pretty much there at the end. Don't give up now. Keep going. Hang in. All right, fantastic. All right, so Lucy, I have you here. See what else I'm missing out on the comments. Joy with hesitancy, yeah. Oh, you just found out about laughter yoga, Mary or Tammy. Fantastic. I know laughter yoga is fun, right? At first it seems kind of silly and it seems a little fake, but then you get into it and it's kind of like catching a yawn. You just find yourself really getting a good belly giggle, and that is the best medicine. Okay, so Lucy, I've got you, and let's see, 753. Okay, so Lucy, I'm gonna pull a quick card for you. So holding your hand over your heart, I'm gonna have you ask your question to yourself. So I think I saw you pop in a question, but I can't find it in the little scrolly. So holding your question in your heart, I'm gonna just ask, what is the most important thing that Lucy knows when it comes to her question? What can help her? Let's see what comes up. Yay, ooh, the Knight of Pentacles. Fantastic. Oh, these are so much fun. I love, and this is really like learning how to tell a story. You look at the card and you kind of take in, what's going on? It's a wonderful way to learn card reading because, I mean, this is a big deck. It's a lot to have to memorize. So there's certain methodologies and practices I share in my group to make it much easier. And then there's also oracle cards that are different than the tarot, and that's a story for another time. But Lucy, when it comes to the Knight of Pentacles, this is about paying attention to details. It's about taking your time. The horse is like standing still. They're not rushing anywhere. There's a Knight of Swords, and it's like he's racing. He's got the wind blowing and the clouds moving quickly. But this guy, he's at a standstill. He's paused. He's checking his surroundings. He's cautious, right? And he's really, so Pentacles again represents the physical, earth, tangible, can represent money. So he's watching and he's cautious. He's planning and he's taking his time. So that's what's coming through for you, my friend. All right. Okay, so Danielle, fantastic. Ooh. So Danielle, I'm gonna go ahead and pull a card for you. And I know I have Stephanie and Jill who had messaged me, and I will pull a card for you. I don't know if you're here watching, but if you are, let me know. Just drop a quick emoji because I'll pull a card for you as well. Okay. Oops. All right, Danielle, it popped right out. So Danielle, 6 of Cups, and it popped out upside down. So this card represents nostalgia. It represents remembrance, memories. What I love about this too is it can also represent a mentor. And that's actually what's coming through for you right now. You've got the older girl offering flowers to the younger one. But there's this figure in the background. It's like there's a shadow over it. And especially with the energy upside down. The other thing, just as kind of a point out here, is that this courtyard is fairly barren. There's not much growing in it, but in the cups, there's great growth. So what's coming through for you right now in particular is that there is connection available to you. There's mentorship available to you, but letting go of the shadows, of the experiences of really just, there's a lot going on here. And just to kind of, as you make your choice and your decision, what I'm gonna say to you is I'm gonna say, as old memories come up and you remember moments where maybe you were in a position where somebody was offering help and something kind of shadowed it, it came over it, it didn't feel good, it felt kind of icky. Take a moment to just pause and to clear that energetically. And I'm gonna do a quick energy clearing with you guys just to teach you how to clear, because that can flavor who we trust and who we let into our life again. And we wanna come from a place where we're really aware and alert when we choose who we connect with, when we look for mentors, when we look for people to help us. But it's very important that we don't let old experiences inhibit us, that's the word, inhibit us from moving forward. So what I'm gonna get you to do right now, and everyone can join in on this, it's a great way to clear energy, especially for my friends who are getting 8 of Swords, is just to take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine beautiful roots growing from the soles of your feet deep down into the earth. And as your feet gently plant on the earth, I'm gonna have you imagine arms 10 to 12 feet in length that you reach out all around you. And as you reach out the arms all around you, you're making a 10 to 12 foot bubble breathing space. And then, very playful and fun, you're gonna imagine like you're flushing the toilet. You flush and allow to swirl down any of the memories or the experiences that would keep you back from acting on an opportunity. So for example, if you had an opportunity, I have one client who was, when she got for a new job, the lady who was doing the hiring said, oh, I'm so excited. Again, in a male-dominated industry, she was in the financial world, or is in the financial world. And this woman said, I wanna be able to build into other women. I wanna lift them up. I wanna be a mentor. And my client stepped into that role only to discover that that wasn't really in the end what this woman was doing. And she was, it was not such a nice position or place to work in the end, let's put it that way. So she left the job, but she started to question her intuition, like, how can I trust myself again? You know, I totally believed this woman and I was taken. And so I was giving her particular skill sets and techniques she could use as she was looking for new jobs and interviewing. And right now for you, my friend, for Danielle, allow yourself that moment to just flush down to the earth any of those experiences that just might have left a coating of ickiness. And as you let that go, imagine filling up with beautiful, beautiful golden light and some green. Green that represents love and healing. It's associated with the Archangel Raphael. All right, so keep me posted on how that feels, because I know there's a lot of layers to that card, a little bit of intensity. All right, so Lucy, I got a card for you, yay! All right, oh, Teresa, you moved to California in August, awesome. All right, okay, ooh, all right, just Kieran, I will pull a card for you, fantastic. Oh, thank you, Candy. I love sharing this with everyone. Oh my goodness, thank you for being here to allow me to share and for asking the questions, yay. All right, so for Just Kieran, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. It's such a beautiful name. Saying your question, holding your hand over your heart. I'm gonna pull a card and just ask, what's the most important thing that Just Kieran knows as she's asking her question, as she's making her decisions? Okay, 7 of Wands. There's an old game that was a lot of fun called, oh, you're welcome, Deanna, thanks for joining, called King of the Hill. And King of the Hill, we played this when we were kids, and one person would like climb to the top of the hill, and then everybody else would try to knock them down. So this really represents someone who is defending their position, like, I want to be king of the hill. And in this moment, one of the big things that's coming through, yes, you have achieved quite a lot of growth. You have climbed to a position of visibility, of expertise in your field, and there's a space where you have to kind of step up. And I don't want to use the word defend. It's more just creatively speak your truth. And you might be asked, well, why? Why do you believe that? Why do you say that? And it's a moment where you have an opportunity to explain. So it's not so much about defending and pushing and knocking other things down. It's about, hello, Valerie, so awesome to see you. So much love to you. So Jaskiran, what it's really about is a moment where somebody might come up and question. They might be like, well, why? Why do you believe that? Why is it that way? And the reason they're questioning and asking is because you've stepped into a place of light from all the work and effort you've put into, like whatever your question is, you've stepped into a light and a space where people are going to say, well, why? So somebody, for example, might come up to me and be like, oh, Irena, you read cards and you're a Christian? Why? What's that about? Because, it might be questionable among certain circles. Well, for me, in my background, this goes back to childhood. One of the biggest things in some of my earliest memories and dreams really was about connecting to God, about being spiritual. And I was born into a Catholic family and very much brought up through the traditions and the experiences. And even some of the priests in the family would read tea leaves. I mean, this incredible intuitive gift runs through my family line. Even my grandmother, in Ireland, my great-grandmother actually in Ireland, when she was in her house, she knew when her son had been injured in the field. And this is like the turn of the 20th century. He was out there chopping wood and he injured himself. He injured his hand badly. Somehow she knew. And she ran to him in the field with the dressings and the bandages and was able to save his hand, or save his finger from being chopped off forever. So the thing is that there is this way to connect to our angels and our guides. Does it have to be through cards? No, but sometimes that's the way we connect to God. That's how we hear the intuitive guidance. That's how we hear their voice. And there's a great story. The church that I attend, the whole reason that they're in the building that they're in is because of cards. The guy who owns the space and who leased it to them, the way he decided whether or not to lease the building to them was he drew cards. And they said, see, God talks to everybody in different ways. So this is just one way. Does it have to be cards? No. I really like them. The story of them, it gets my visualization going. I'm a very visual person. And believe it or not, words are not my forte. I feel at times. Fantastic. So let me know how that feels to you, Jaskiran. And Valerie, hello. And Amanda, great to have you. Okay, so my friend Jill, you had messaged me about a question, so I'm gonna pull for you. Yes, the cards really help me listen. I know they do. Oh, Lisa, thank you. That means the world to me. I love stories. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have a fun story about that. All right, so for Jill, I'm gonna have you hold your hand over your heart and just ask your question. And I'm gonna just tune in and say, okay, what's the most important thing Jill knows when she comes to making her decision and asking her question? Ooh, 7 of Pentacles, yay. So again, Pentacles represents, story about stories. Isn't that funny, Lisa? 7 of Pentacles, get back on track here, represents Earth, right? This represents something physical that you've created. This is a moment to take stock, and it's right before the harvesting. This is like, oh, what did I plant this year? What crops did I plant? How did they grow? How much, energy did I have to put into growing them? How much fertilizer? Did I get enough water? Did I get enough sun? This is taking stock and then planning for the future. So when it comes, Jill, to your question, it's a moment to take stock, to look at what you've created, how you created it, the strategies and plans you have in place to get where you are. And if you don't like where you are, a moment to readjust and tweak for the future. All right, fantastic. And now let's see, Stephanie, you had also asked for a question, my friend Stephanie P. I'll clear the cards a little more. Okay. And for Stephanie, all right, so this is gonna be the last card I will pull for Stephanie. You guys are great sports here with me. Oh, and then I'll do a group reading for everybody who's on here. Okay, so Stephanie, having your hand over your heart, just ask the question, all right, what's the most important thing I know as I make my decision? Sometimes they like to say, ooh, Ace of Cups, yay! Ace of Cups, a wonderful, wonderful gift. So Ace represents new beginnings, right? We had that with the Ace of Wands with our friend Teresa. Wands representing an inspiration, an idea, or possibly a job. Ace of Cups is really a gift, a happy gift. And I'm just kind of tuning in to see if there's a specific message or image that comes through for you. But really, what I'm getting is that moment of, cards in and of themselves can represent something, but you get more information when you pull more cards. And really what I'm getting here for you is the potential possibility. It's that moment of being very fertile, of almost being pregnant with ideas, I'll put it that way. And it's not even so much ideas. Okay, because I don't want to say what's coming to mind. See, this is so interesting. I'm like, no, I can't say that. I can't say that. I don't know the person. I don't know what's going on. But, so Ace of Cups, what I'm really getting here is really, really happy news. Happy news. And anyway, I'm gonna send you a message on that one because I don't feel right just saying this in the larger forum. But Ace of Cups, happy news, new beginnings. I'll put it like that right now. All right, fantastic. So thank you guys for joining me. Oh, Angel, you have a question. New member. Oh, okay, so one more reading. Oh my God, Valerie, that's awesome. Okay, they were totally knocking me on the head. I didn't want to say it out loud. Okay, so for my friend, yeah, pregnancy, yeah. So sometimes other cards around it. So it could be a literal pregnancy. It could be, I didn't want to say it out loud. Isn't that interesting? You hesitate. Like, oh. So thank you, Valerie, so much for listening to your angels and guides and bringing that through. So pregnancy. So, well, and whatever your question was about, my friend, really, really interesting. Okay, very cool. Thank you, Valerie. Oh, I have so much love for you. I was being too chicken. I'm like, I can't say that. Anyway, all right. So see, this is a process. We're developing our intuitive language. So Angel, fantastic to have you. I'm so glad you're here. All right, so I will pull a question for you. So just holding a hand over your heart and holding the question in your heart. You guys are so much fun to play with. I'm gonna invite you to hold on to that question. I'm gonna just ask, what's the most important thing Angel know as it comes to making their decision and choice? Okay, yay, the World card again. This has popped up a lot too. So the World card is the success, the completion. You have made it full circle. And for you, that's what's really coming up is full circle. And in particular, the full circle, it almost feels like, oh my gosh, I've been here before. I've done this and I'm ready to move on. I'm ready for a new chapter in the adventure. Oh, hold on, I'll pull this up. Yes, I need more of you too, Valerie. So see, now I'm getting distracted, so I know I'm at the end of this, so I'm starting to get a little fried. So with the completion card, my friend Angel, this is something to take into a moment of consideration that you really have completed a cycle. And it's a cycle that has been repeated before. In the yoga tradition, they have something called samskaras. And I like to think of the samskaras, right? It's a karmic type experience, but the grooves in a record and how sometimes the needle on the record player can get stuck in a groove and you just keep playing the same note over and over and over and over and over. And for you in particular right now, this card represents you're done. You're ready to move on. Whatever had to be learned and experienced has been, and now now you're releasing from it and you're consciously choosing that. I'm done with that. I'm not gonna play that same old song, find myself in that same old situation again. I'm ready for the next chapter in my life. So completion and success. Oh, my battery is draining on my phone. I've only got a little bit of juice left. Wonderful. Oh, Valerie, you have all the questions. Oh my goodness. Yes, lots and lots of seeking. So thank you, my friends, so much for joining me. What fun this is. I love, love, love having you. Thank you for your questions, for your ability to come in and play. And Tammy, thank you for being here too. And let me just close with one big group reading for all of us. So you can hold your hand on the heart and you just ask that the most important information comes through to serve the highest and all of us here in the group. So what do we as a group need to know? Oh, hi Sydney, great to have you. Oh, 6 of Cups reversed. So this came up for our friend Miss Danielle earlier. So again, it meant one thing for her, and it can mean something for others. I'm looking at the image in the reflection here in the camera. And the song that comes up, it's a song, it's the Turn, Turn, Turn. I'm gonna have to look for the lyrics of it because I don't have all the lyrics coming through. But really, what it represents to me right now for us as a group is an opportunity to kind of till the garden of our heart. When we make changes and shifts in our life, we find that we're not always going to be able to hang out with the same people. We might keep trying to relive the same old memories. It's like the people who get trapped in their high school years because, yes, to everything there is a season. Exactly, Lisa. It's that Turn, Turn, Turn. It's not Tambourine Man, but it's like a folksy song from the 70s. Thank you. Lisa's my singer. She's got the most incredible voice. Oh my God. Oh, have to have her come on and sing for us one day. But as a group, when you change your energy, you're gonna find the people you hang out with changes. So let's say you're looking to get fit and lose weight and you've been hanging out with the couch potatoes who love to eat fast food. You're gonna discover that they don't like to hang out as much with you because now you wanna walk on Saturdays and you don't wanna get fast food, you wanna bring a salad. And they might feel badly when they're hanging out with you because they recognize that they probably should be doing it too, but they're not, and they're not ready to. So you might find that things are shifting and changing with your connection of friends, with your community, but take heart and know that there is community out there who are energetically vibrating at a place that you wish to be yourself. And really, we are the company we keep, so please keep great company. I would love to have you here, and I'd love to have you in my Intuitive Energy Adventure program. I'm taking 2 more people right now. I reopened the cart, and if you jump in today, I've got a class tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., and you'll get a chance to have a system that you walk away with to talk with your guides and angels. To everything turn, 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 there's a season. Yes, Valerie, thank you. And a time for every purpose under heaven. Yeah, there really and truly is. Thank you, my friends. Lots of love, sweet dreams, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye. Thank you, Tammy, all those hearts.